Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, June 1st, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives at the top of the page with the Video Village and the Wayback Machine and our eye candy feature right along the bottom here, and we archive all that stuff. And of course, Speaking Sexually, Dr. Kathy Naughton's feature from the Center for Sexual Health. I expected to be outside today. I fully intended to be outside, but the guy across the street is mowing his lawn. It's actually not him, it's one of those lawn services where they come in and they have those stand-up mowers, and those babies are loud, so unless you wanted to hear all lawnmower and no JC today, got to be inside instead of outside. And I got to start at the beginning. I know there's a lot of people all excited about the Cardinals' win last night over the San Francisco Giants, and I'm sorry I have to take a dissenting position on this, and here's why. And the game was nationally televised last night, so while you were watching it on FSN Midwest, it was also being broadcast nationally on ESPN. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute here. But, while, again, people are celebrating the Cardinals' win last night, this is an all too familiar scenario that's playing out where you have these close games, Cardinals hanging on or having to come from behind, and it's because of fundamentally poor play on the part of Tony La Russa's 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. What am I talking about? Let's start in the first inning. Albert Pujols. He's trying to do everything himself. Maybe because he's hitting 240, he's trying to, stretch singles into doubles, and the center fielder bobbles the base hit to center field. Albert thinks he's going to take off for second. He's not that fast. He gets caught in no man's land. They throw him out at first base. Inning over. Carpenter, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. Fabulous, but his pitch count was way up. They had to yank him way early in the game, and a lot of those pitches were up there, got pounded for those base hits. Tony has Carpenter on first base. Carpenter gets a base hit or a walk. I forget what it was. He's on first base. Third inning of the game, and he's got him hit and running with the pitcher on first base. You're tiring out your starting pitcher. It's hot out, and it's also dangerous. If Carpenter slides into second base, busting up a double play and breaks his leg, it's going to be hell to pay. All right, fifth inning on the Torres steal. Yadier Molina's throw to second base had Torres beaten, but Skip Schumacher out of position. He's 3 feet in front of second base, and he's trying to tag the guy behind him. That's not how you play second base, and that's not how you make that play. Then that run scores on the very next play. Colby Rasmus, ground ball, center field, base hit, ball goes under his glove. Had it not been for John Jay backing up Rasmus on a routine ground ball, basically to center field, that ball probably would have gone all the way to the wall. But John Jay backs up because he's conscientious. He's one of the few people on the team actually paying attention. Same inning, pop-up. Okay, now in the infield, we got Albert at third base at that time. So Albert likes to play every position at the same time. I told you about this thing you saw in the game a couple weeks ago. Albert's playing first base, and he makes a put out at third. What's he doing at third? Okay, and he's running all over the field. He's wandering into second baseman's territory, trying to catch ground balls. There's nobody, at first base. It's just so last night, Albert's at third. There's a pop-up, and the pop-up is it's sort of like if you had a triangle between the pitching rubber, the third base line, and the catcher's position at home plate. The ball is right there. That's the third baseman's ball. Where is Albert? Watching Yadier Molina come out from behind the catching position and make the play in fair territory. That's not even his call. That's not even his play. That's the third baseman's play. Skip Schumacher sliding into first base. This is the stupidest, most illogical thing a base runner can do. Okay? You can run past the bag at first. That's the luxury of running to first base. You can run past it at full speed. So you get there at full speed. When you slide, it slows you up at a time when you're trying to be as fast as you can be. Why is Skip Schumacher insisting on diving into first base? It slows you down and it's dangerous. You can get hurt. You can separate a shoulder. You can break a finger. You can do all sorts of stuff. Ninth inning. Routine grounder to Tyler Green at shortstop, who is not ready to play infield at the major league level, by the way. He throws wild on a routine ground ball in the ninth inning with the game on the line. Throws wild up the line. Albert has to tag the runner coming up the line. It's another place you can break a finger, separate a shoulder, dislocate something. It's a very dangerous play. Second out in the ninth inning. Congratulations to the fans along the left field foul line in left field, because Alan Craig goes over to try to catch that ball, and in a lot of ballparks you get the fans leaning over, Bartman, trying to interfere with the play. The fans, you could see on the replay, stayed out of the way. Alan Craig catches that ball 2 outs in the 9th inning. Congratulations to the fans. Now, 9th inning, 2 out, and Colby Rasmus gets a bad jump on the fly ball, the sort of Texas leaguer that dropped in front of him. So now they show it on the replay. It's a catchable ball. The ball goes right past his glove. All he's got to do is almost blew that game, which was interesting too, because on FSN, Dan McLaughlin and Al Raboski, or actually it was Ricky Horton, said that Colby got a bad jump on that fly ball. And on ESPN, they called it a good jump. Both watching the same thing. How can one be a good jump and one be a bad jump? So we win last night, but, and that's a huge but, by the way. By the way, on ESPN, Chris Berman and Rick Sutcliffe, they were talking about collisions at home plate. You had this awful situation where Buster Posey is out at least for the rest of the season, maybe longer. He said he's lucky, he feels lucky not to be in a wheelchair this morning. So now Mike Shannon has branded the discussion that maybe Major League Baseball ought to change things about the collisions at home plate. He has branded that as, quote, ridiculous. Well, there's a lot of people that don't think it's ridiculous. You have such bigger players these days, and it's like two Clydesdales colliding at home plate. And I just think that the solution is simple. And what you do is you say, if there's a play at home plate, then the outside part of the baseline belongs to the runner, and the inside part of the plate, or part of the foul line, belongs to the catcher. And if the catcher steps out into foul territory on the foul side of the third base line, then he's fair game. Now, the umpires also have to call it, because it's also illegal to run down the first base line in fair territory. That's what that box is on the foul side of the first base line, and the umpires almost never call it. So, I don't know. Somebody's going to get killed or maimed or in a wheelchair or something. Somebody do something. I just spent 7 minutes talking about baseball. That's how pissed off I was about that game last night. All right, been a while since we had a cell phone study, and now they're trying to scare the hell out of everybody again. If you use your cell phone, you might get cancer. Well, if you wear a headset or use your speakerphone or switch sides of your head, it'll cut down on your susceptibility, I suppose. Send more text messages, I don't know. New study says 15% of all divorces cite video games as a contributing factor to the marriage breaking up. The wives are tired of watching you play video games, man. All right, some nude photos of Gossip Girl babe Blake Lively hit the web yesterday. Pictures show a young, thin blonde taking pictures of herself completely nude in the bathroom. Blake Lively's people says it's not her, it's her. Okay. Is Hayden Panettiere nailing New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez? That's the rumor going around. Andy Dick being sued for allegedly rubbing his genitalia against a man's face at a comedy club last year. The guy said he felt degraded and humiliated. You should have felt that way buying a ticket to an Andy Dick show at a comedy club. All right, what else we got here? PBS adding commercials to their shows beginning in the fall. NBC hosting the Super Bowl on February 5th. They're going to give The Voice the coveted post-Super Bowl time slot, the one that went to Glee this past season. Osama bin Laden might have been a pretty good employer, it turns out. They were digging up some of his files taken from the compound, and they found out that Osama bin Laden gave Al-Qaeda employees 5 to 7 paid vacation days for every 3 weeks that they worked. And speaking of vacation, according to a new study, if you go 62 days or longer without taking a vacation day, that's the tipping point where people go from, and this is a quote, from being fresh and focused to anxious, aggressive, and ill. And can Twitter predict the stock market? That's what they're saying. According to a new study, researchers found that when the overall mood of people's tweets was calm and happy, a few days later the market would go up. But when more people were alert and negative, the market would go down. According to a 60 Minutes Vanity Fair poll, almost half of Americans think Islam is as peaceful as other religions. The majority of Americans feel millions of dollars spent on prosecuting cheating athletes is a waste. 50% of people feel Guantanamo detainees could be held safely in U.S. federal maximum security prisons. And Americans predict Keith Richards and Lindsay Lohan will outlive Charlie Sheen. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. I don't know why this makes me uncomfortable and I feel icky about this, but I do. So the Piccadilly Circus was supposed to perform in Joplin, Missouri this week, but of course they had this terrible, tornado a week or week and a half ago, and so there's not even a building they can have a circus in. So instead of the circus just traveling on to the next city, they stopped in Joplin yesterday and they got one of the elephants out to help with the tornado damage cleanup. And the elephant, they tie a harness to the elephant and they tie the other end to a car that's like buried in debris, and then they start, giving commands to the elephant, and the elephant starts, and he pulls the car out of the debris. Now, I don't know why this bothers me, but it does. I mean, on one hand, I'm thinking, well, it's nice that the circus just didn't, bypass Joplin altogether. But on the other hand, you're tying an elephant to help clean up tornado damage? I don't know. I got to think about that one. Give me 24 hours on that. I might have another take on it. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, June 1st. 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. See, Colby, you can catch a ball. Try two hands also, okay? That would also help Colby. Learn how to play center frickin' field, will you? In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.